Let's talk about one of the cutest and most important little helpers you can have in a bioactive setup. Your isopods. These tiny crustaceans are absolute powerhouses when it comes to keeping your vivariums healthy over time. Recyclers, cleaners, and even for some species, they can be a snack. And honestly, one of the best parts is that they're just adorable to watch scuttle around. In bioactive enclosures, isopods act like a cleanup crew. They break down decaying leaves, leftover food and waste, turning all of those nutrients that would otherwise just mold around into nutrients that plants can actually utilize. That means healthier soils, stronger plants, and a lot less work for maintenance. Think of them as a tank's built-in composting crew. Another great thing, as they're digging around in the soils and eating up decaying matter, they're also helping to aerate those soils. For reptiles and amphibians, that means that the environment is healthier and more similar to what they'd hopefully encounter in the wild. After measuring and marking for each of the ventilation holes, I went ahead and started drilling using a step drill bit. The goal today was to make 3 separate isopod bins so that I could have one for light colored isopods, one for skirted isopods, and one for dark colored isopods. Another critical component that needed made was the screen mesh sections that would go over the drilled holes. If I didn't have these, they would basically just leak out and go wherever they can, to be honest. Might sound fun for the isopods, but the bins have the humidity that they need to survive. The rest of the house is a bit less hospitable to them. I removed jagged edges around the drilled holes to allow the screen mesh to be siliconed in more easily. I found the best solution for me to get silicone onto the screen was to simply hold up the caulking gun and try and apply the silicone along the edges of the screen. It probably isn't the best solution, but it worked. I added in a layer of gravel, and on top of that I set a carbon fiber window screen mesh. To hold that down, I tossed in a few stones as well. Into a bucket, I added 1 pot of orchid bark, 1 pot of sphagnum peat moss, 2 pots of topsoil, also a pot of pine bark mulch. 1 quart of charcoal was also added, and then I mixed everything up into that same bucket. This mixture will retain moisture pretty well due to the sphagnum moss added. It also will have air pockets due to the orchid bark as well as some of the mulch. I filled up all 3 of the bins with a short layer of substrate. Thick layers are typically better for isopods, so later on I may add more. I collected a bunch of small leaves from my yard. These are being heated up to remove any pests. Now that's looking better. With any unwanted hitchhikers taken care of, these can now make an excellent addition to the bins. And so I went about finding some isopods. I have had a bin that I've been culturing isopods in for a few months. It's big, it's ugly. I haven't really been too happy with it for a while, so ultimately I wanted a replacement. With having 1 bin, I also could not really do any selective breeding, which I'm very excited to be able to actually do. Ended up getting quite a few isopods for both dark and light. At this point, I think it's fair for me to try to call this project a success. The isopods seem to enjoy it. I even seen babies. This is the skirted isopod tub, and you can see the little baby right here. So I think it's fair to say that they are thriving in here. I'm going to keep letting this grow in, and of course, feed it. As you can tell, I've been feeding it some dehydrated veggies. I'm really excited to see how this goes, but until next time, I hope you guys take care and peace out.